Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. BTM here, bringing you match 32 of my ongoing Age of Empires 3 series. We have a 1v1 on Silk Road. I am using a user request civ that is mainly the French, or that is the French, not mainly the French, it is the French. And I'm going to be playing with them 1v1 against a Japanese player. The last time I played a Japanese player, I actually posted it on this channel. I was playing a Sioux and I got my rear end handed to me. So today we are definitely going to look for a little bit of revenge. Now I'm playing as French for a few reasons. One, it was requested, and two, I was also asked to play as a civilization I have played the least as. And after a lot of thought, I mean, I've been playing this game forever, relatively. After a lot of thought, I realized that I have played the French less than any other civilization in the game. It's kind of overpowered in both Rush and Treaty, and therefore I generally stick away from it. It's kind of generic and simple, and I generally like the gimmicks of the other civilizations, however they are. So that's why I haven't played the French, and that's why I am playing the French now, bringing you this match. We do have a little bit of a strategy, so we'll walk through that. I'm doing all the normal early game stuff. I'm leaving my crate of coin, I should say, alone. I'm scouting out the map. I'm looking for my first, second, and third herds. I have found all three of them, and all very, very good stuff. I have a preliminary Rush deck I've made, although I'll definitely play with French a little bit more before I release a deck. Now, my French strategy looks like this. You age up with either 13 or 14 Coureurs de Bois, and that actually depends on whether you're going for a faster age up or a little bit of a slower age up. Now, because I'm playing Japan, I know that they have a strong Rush, but I also know that they have pretty strong military units, so I'm definitely going to age up with 14 Coureurs de Bois. That way I have a stronger economy rather than a weaker one, if only because I'm worried about the strength of their military units, and I'm aware that I'm going to need to keep out constant production of my own units to counter them and beat them. So that's what's going on. My first shipment will be the 3 Coureurs de Bois card. You should always send the 3 villager shipment if your civilization has it available. And my second shipment will actually be, once I'm in the colonial age, it'll be 700 wood. You're going to age with 14 villagers. In this game I will, at least. And then while aging, you're going to split your villagers to either a 7-7 split or a 6-8 split between food and wood, respectively. The general plan is to get your barracks built as soon as you get into the second age, build 2, and then move on with life. Now, as you can see there on the map, Blue walked by me here, and I actually sent my scout over on the edges of the map. I want to make sure I locate a shrine so I can put some pressure on them later. But I did there, as I saw Blue walk by me, I did actually walk my explorer away a little bit because I didn't want him to realize I was camping on this treasure that I really wanted. It was, I believe, an 80 gold treasure, and I figured since I would probably want to mix in a few musketeers into my units, it would be a good choice for me to try to grab it. So that's exactly what's going on. I have actually gotten pretty lucky with my treasures so far this game. I did grab the 40 or so experience treasure by my town center, and I'm going to grab this coin treasure as well. So all around, not going badly. I'm using my scout. It's much different to play a game having a scout. I'm not used to it. So it's definitely allowing me to uncover the map quickly. And I am aware that that treasure was there, by the way, the free one with no guardians at the bottom of the map that you're going to see Blue gather. However, I just did not feel compelled to go get it, unfortunately. I had no reason to be honest. It was kind of one of those, well, my explorer's getting these more valuable treasures, and I'm not going to waste a villager's time gathering 30 coin. However, I probably should have had that Coureur de Bois down there gather it. So we're aging to the second age, and about now I'm going to gather my coin treasure. That way I'll have 180 coin total, and my goal with doing that is to be able to at least have one solid batch of musketeers. I'm going to send a Coureur de Bois up to the middle of the map to build a forward base. I'm going to send my explorer up there also to watch and kind of protect. I'm going to start having my scout do a little bit more localized looking around, trying to see what's going on. Now I notice here, fortunately, that Blue is building a forward consulate, which is very, very interesting. Most people do not use their consulate as a forward building. So that lets me know right off the bat that Blue is definitely going to be using some of his consulate armies. And I'm not sure, unfortunately, off the top of my head, at least while playing, I wasn't sure what armies he would be using to counter me with, simply just because I'm not that familiar with Japanese consulates armies. Actually, next to French, I probably played Japan the second least, so we'll probably be playing some Japanese soon. So I do know that there's going to be consulate armies coming soon. I do know that consulate armies are limited, but they're very, very powerful, so I'm not sure what armies to expect. Now, fortunately here, we are about to hit the second age, and I made a little bit of a mistake. I definitely should have had one more house built. I was saving my wood, though, because I was going to want to have my barracks built as fast as possible, and I was going to want to have both barracks built actually with some units coming, so it was a little bit foolish of me, I think, actually, though, to sit on that much wood. I probably should have built houses sooner, because now, as you can see, I'm building houses. I am going to buy hunting dogs, though, and my water mill upgrades to give me both a food and wood gathering bonus, but outside of that, I definitely am sitting on a little bit more resources than I maybe need at this moment, to be quite honest. I'm going to build a second house, bringing my total population up to 40, though, and my reasoning is because I'm going to start pumping out units as fast as I can. Now, knowing that that consulate there is going to kind of be a little bit of an interesting factor, because he is going to be able to make units close to me, but I don't know what kind of units they're going to be. So I'm kind of stressed out, but I'm not going to freak out and change my strategy. I am going to make first a batch of crossbowmen, and then I'm going to make a batch of musketeers. I'm not going to change my strategy all that much. There's no reason for me to freak out and do anything crazy. Now, you may have noticed I was gathering that treasure on the top left of my map. I did not send my explorer to like range shoot it or do any like fancy micromanagement, and I did that because I didn't feel the treasure deserved it. I was very concerned with making sure that I gave Blue the proper attention he deserved, so I didn't run away or do anything fancy schmancy. Now, I do see some musketeers coming from Blue towards my barracks, so I'm going to get my Courrier de Bois out of there, and unfortunately, it looks like pound for pound, my crossbowmen aren't going to be as powerful as his musketeers. Fortunately, though, I do have some more of my own musketeers coming. We'll definitely have a numerical advantage very soon. I probably should have been hitting and running, though, at this point, and now we see some units coming out of his, coming out of Blue's consulate, and this is actually not good at all. Those I know those units, they're absolutely devastating melee units. They have, I think, a 35 base hand attack against ranged units, or light skirmishers, pardon me, and they have a truckload of health, and now it looks like we're in a lot of trouble because he has more musketeers coming from the other side of my barracks. At this point, I'm definitely in a lot of trouble. I'm going to hit and run a little bit with my musketeers, and I'm going to start hitting and running with my crossbowmen. However, in this point of the game, we're in a lot of trouble. It does not look like there's all that much we can do. Fortunately, though, he's definitely much more distracted with trying to hunt down my micromanaging crossbowmen, so it is allowing my barracks to keep making more units and killing him, picking him off one at a time without dying. Fortunately, though, I do have almost 1,000 wood, definitely way more wood than I need. And so I am going to be able to build another barracks right next to it, but he doesn't know it's there yet. So that's very, very good for us in terms of being able to minimize the loss of this barracks. Because even though the barracks is a valuable investment, we have so much wood, it's really not that much of a valuable investment, if that makes any sense whatsoever. However, at this point, he has seen that that barracks is there, so I'm just going to walk my Courrier de Bois away, and I'm going to start hopefully being able to micromanage and get some hits on those. I don't know what to call them. I don't remember their name. They're like Yagasabi, whatever. They're basically like really nice art or really nice clubmen. So we're gonna start micromanaging them. At this point, we've actually not that off as I felt in game. While playing in the game, I definitely felt like I was in a world of trouble. However, getting that second barracks up and now being able to keep a constant production of men, the tide is about now going to start shifting into in our favor. At this point, green or blue really should pull back and try to consolidate his forces, because now I have a numbers advantage. I'm going to start picking off his units one at a time, and I'm going to start amassing my own units. So we survived that pretty powerful early rush by Blue. He definitely used his consulate armies. However, we were able to kind of just overwhelm him with numbers, and that's kind of why I don't like French. I always find them a little bit overpowered. Courrier de Bois per pound, even though they cost 125 food a head, they gather faster, and all around they're tremendously, tremendously powerful units. Now, at this point, I do know that he has a barracks to the south of my two barracks that are closer to his town center. However, I decided to ignore them and focus solely on putting pressure on his town center. I assumed at the time, and it might have been erroneous, but I definitely assumed that I'd have a better long-range benefit of attacking him there, because the best defense is a best offense. So I was kind of worried that if I spent the time running around looking for his base near me, I would lose the advantage I just gained by attacking him. So that is kind of why I decided to go push on him. Now, my second group of units I'm going to make is actually pikemen. And I did that because I wanted to start walking around the map and burning his shrines. Unfortunately, crossbowmen might have been a better choice, but considering that he's already used melee units against me, I decided that pikeman wasn't a bad choice. However, he's got a ton of musketeers coming. Japan's economy is just simply ferocious, so I'm actually going to have to end up using my pikemen right here now to protect my crossbowmen, because he's going in melee mode against them. and I don't want to lose any more of them necessary. I want to take full advantage of the numbers advantage I temporarily have. So we got more batches of crossbowmen coming. And at this point, we're doing very, very well. We're keeping our horde of units alive. We're managed to micromanage them off pretty decently. Now at this point though, I am going to split away my pikemen and send them to go start burning shrines. There's no point to let them die trying to tackle his Yumi archers. And we have a pretty good horde of crossbowmen in our own right. We're going to have to keep making villagers, though. I've kind of slacked just a little bit. However, I did use some villager hotkeys this game, guys. I've been looking up hotkeys and which ones to use, so hopefully I'm going to keep improving with using them better. Now, at this point in the game, I'm a little bit kind of apprehensive. I was looking at the score, and I definitely have a 10-point lead over him, but I haven't been able to kind of do that major death blow. So my hope is to be able to do it here. I am able to kill a villager or two, and then he realizes and runs away. And at this point though, I am going to destroy a shrine and send my pikemen to go destroy another shrine. So I felt pretty good all around actually about what I was able to do here. We're starting to get some pressure on him and win the war. That consulate, I didn't actually worry about taking it down, and I did that for a reason. Because the consulate requires exports to use, and because he's already attacked me with units that require export, I just don't think he's going to be able to get enough export fast enough to get another army seriously quick out that will be able to attack me. Unfortunately though, I have bungled up my housing situation at this point in the game. I should have more houses built, but I'm actually hitting my population cap, and that's something, as you guys have seen me frequently have to struggle with. I constantly forget to manage housing. Now, he did hit and run back to the south. However, again, as long as I'm attacking his town, he can't ignore me, and he cannot ignore me and simply attack me. He has to try to protect his town and destroy my barracks, so he's going to have to respond to me. So at this point, I'm not going to worry about running down to the south. Now, I did pull my units back there, as I had initially sent them to walk forward, and I did that because I knew I was going to have to look away from my town center to move my 8 crossbowmen I chipped from my home city, and I did not want to be looking away while I had my units marching into his town. It's just a very, very bad habit I have. Now, unfortunately, he sees me coming here, and he runs back into his town, but that's okay, because I am going to use my explorer and my army to kind of just scout out the flanks around his town. I just want to see if there's any easy shrines I can pick off and really get a feel for the lay of the land of what he's got going on in his town. Now here I'm going to find some units hiding in the back of his town, not many, so I'm just going to start range picking them off, doing some easy and cheap damage. At this point though, we're sitting on a tremendous truckload of resources, so I need to start putting them into military units. And again, I've hit my population cap like an idiot. He does start attacking my barracks again, though, and he's done a very, very good job keeping out military production, although he hasn't necessarily been so successful at getting them massed properly. We've been able to hit and run and separate them fairly well. At this point, though, he does realize he's in trouble, so he's going to run away. And running away, even though it's generally the smarter decision, it can kind of be problematic, because as you're running away, you're just taking a bunch of flanking fire. So there really is a trade-off there between, well, I'm going to take damage running away, or I'm going to stay and lose my men, which is a better choice. Now, he does send in 2 Nagati riders, I believe they're pronounced. You guys can let me know in the comments and tell me how stupid I am. No problem whatsoever. He does send out 2 Nagati riders, but at this point, it's too little too late. 2 Nagati riders, even though they will absolutely decimate crossbowmen, it's 2 Nagati riders against probably 30 crossbowmen. They're not going to be able to do much. They're going to get picked off fairly easily. And he does have a lot more Yumi archers at this point, but again, it's a little bit too little too late. We are now going to take down his consulate, though, and I did that because I realized it is outside of the range of his town center fire, so I will definitely be able to pick it off without many losses. I'm not really doing a good job micromanaging my units by my barracks here, but I didn't really feel the need to. I was more interested in protecting my pikemen. So at this point, though, I do see the stable built in the back of his town, and I do realize that we're going to need to definitely go heavy on the pikemen and start getting more pressure on him. If he can start successfully massing Nagati riders, the pendulum of the game could potentially swing, although at this point, he's thrown away so many resources trying to combat me. I don't necessarily think it will, but at the same time, the pikemen will be useful for siege damage too. So either way, we need to get some pikemen out on the field, and that's what we're going to do. And he, again, is attacking my barracks with some more units. However, they're just a few Yumi archers. They don't pose a serious threat to take it down, and I am sitting on a surplus of wood, so I'm not too particularly worried about it. I am now going to send my new Courrier de Bois, though, to coin, because I'm going to want to start massing musketeers at this point. I don't think there's any reason for me not to. We have about 10 more pikemen in on the scene. We're going to make more units from our barracks, and he chooses at this point to resign. So all around, it was a good game. I I really actually kind of felt, probably wrongly, like I had lost it though at the beginning of the game when he attacked me with those. The Yamabushi? Kamsha Yamabushi, I think. I'm not sure. And I did miss some shrines in his forward base, but all around we managed to pull out the win, a little bit of fancy micromanagement, and keep ourselves alive. So that's a French dual barracks rush, guys. The basic premise is get your 2 barracks out, and then spam crossbowmen and pikemen as needed. It's very, very powerful, very, very effective. It's very, very simple to do. You can just send your first 2 cards, and then from there it's whatever cards you feel like sending. So all around, it's a very, very good game. It was a lot of fun. I am trying to get to the requests you guys sent me. As you can see here, he did have more villagers than me, and actually kind of out economy in the early game. However, because I do have Corey de Bois, I did do better than him. So all around, it was a very, very good game. Now, I kind of may have a new outro I'd like to bring you guys. I'm going to bring you at the end of each video now a quote from a book called The Art of War that kind of gives you an idea about strategic gameplay, and it's something I'd really, really like to do. So, our quote for today, actually, is from The Art of War. It's by Sun Tzu. I'm not quite sure how to say his name, but it basically goes like this. It says, "Water shapes its course according to the nature of the ground over which it flows. The soldier works out his victory in relation to the foe whom he is facing." Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Good game, and until I catch you guys next time, happy hunting.